Hello guys, and welcome back to part 2 of the DIY CO2 video. So we are now 1 whole month later. Let's take a look at the tank. So I think we can all agree for just 30 days there is a lot of decent growth. So obviously this being a DIY CO2 system, you're not going to get the same results as a fully pressurized high-tech system. But I've got to say, for just this small bottle, this much new growth is really encouraging. For reference, this is what the tank was looking like the first week. So you can see the rocks are pretty bare. There's a lot of bold patches on the rocks. And this is the tank today. So yeah, a good clear difference. During this whole month, maintenance wise, I can't say I've been doing too much. So I've really been doing what I usually do maintenance wise, is just keeping the tank nice and clean. Whether it's just scraping the glass, I was also doing about 30% water changes every single week, just to suck up that moss that would sometimes come loose, and just for good measure to keep everything nice and clean. I have a fair number of shrimp in this tank, but as soon as they see the camera, they really don't like it. They just bolt all the way to the back of the tank. That's why you're not seeing them too much. And because I have shrimp in my tank, I do re-drip the water into the tank extremely slowly. So I actually do cover this in my water change video. I have a very particular type of problem with the tap water I use. So if you're interested in knowing all about that, there is a video specifically on that. I'm also fertilizing a lot, so every day is just 1 pump of Flora Grow. This is a general fertilizer. You can use any, you don't have to use this brand, but yeah, when you're pumping in the CO2, you do have to fertilize a little more because obviously the plants are growing faster. So now let's talk a little bit about the mix. So in the first part, I did a certain recipe, so that would last for about a week until it completely depleted. So I tried twice to readjust the recipe, and it was just each time lasting a week. So I finally decided to take out the water that I would put back onto the jelly mix. So I completely took it out and just left the jelly, and I found that worked really well. It really stabilized the recipe, and it's still the same one. Obviously now it's liquefied, but now it's been running for a little over 2 weeks. So that's a lot better than just remixing your whole recipe every single week, because that can be a nuisance. So personally, I don't intend on running CO2 regularly on this tank at all. This is I'm just using it for the startup phase, because you can grow a tank like this with weeping moss without using CO2 at all. It's just going to take you maybe 3 to 4 months maybe to have a result that looks like this. So it's just to speed it up a little bit. For me, this was the first time I'm actually trying DIY CO2. I had never tried it before. So I'm sure that there are a lot more, performance-based mixes, recipes out there for it to last maybe a month. But to be honest, I wanted to try what I had seen. It's just a way I can learn, because sometimes you read a lot of stuff online, there are a lot of theories and stuff, but until you really try it for yourself, you don't know. The first mix that I did, it was said to last over 2 weeks. Well, for me, it lasted only a week. So yeah, sometimes you just have to try things and find out for yourself. So for me, this was really a cool little experiment. So as soon as the CO2 runs out in this bottle, I'm simply gonna unhook it, and then it will just go back to being a low-tech tank. So yeah, this was just a really cool little experiment to try. Again, I had never done this before, so it's been really interesting seeing how things just grow in. So again, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next Monday for a new video. And just before I leave, here are some before and after shots.